Why you should retire ASAP, the rule of 55. If you're in your 50s and thinking about retiring early, this'll show you exactly why the rule of 55 could let you walk away years sooner than you thought. Because most people believe you can't touch your retirement money before 59 and a half without penalties, and that mistake keeps them stuck working longer than they need to. I dug into the IRS rules, real withdrawal strategies, and the exact conditions that make this loophole work. And here's the part almost nobody explains. There's one small detail in the rule of 55 that can either unlock early freedom or completely block your access. So before you assume early retirement isn't possible, watch this first. What the rule actually is. Expanded, around 2 minutes. Let's start with what the rule of 55 actually is, and just as important, what it is not. Most people are taught a very simple rule. Don't touch your retirement money before age 59 and a half, and in most cases that's correct. If you withdraw money early from a retirement account like a 401k or 303b, you typically face a 10% early withdrawal penalty on top of regular income tax. But the tax code includes a specific exception known as the Rule of 55. Here's what it actually allows. If you leave your job, whether you quit, get laid off, or retire, in or after the calendar year you turn 55, you can take withdrawals from your current employer's retirement plan without paying that 10% early withdrawal penalty. Now, this part is important. The rule only removes the penalty. It does not remove income tax. So any money you withdraw is still taxed like normal income. Also, the timing is based on the calendar year, not your exact birthday. For example, if you turn 55 in December, you may still qualify for the rule if you leave your job earlier in that same year. But here's where people get confused. This is not early retirement free money. This is simply earlier access to your own savings under specific IRS conditions. And those conditions matter a lot, because if you don't follow them properly, the penalty can still apply. So before thinking about retiring early using this rule, it's important to understand exactly how it works, where it applies, and where it doesn't. Now let's talk about the exact conditions you need to meet, because this is where most people either qualify or completely miss out. First, you must leave your job in or after the calendar year you turn 55. It doesn't matter whether you retire, resign, or are laid off, but the timing has to align with that age rule. If you leave even 1 year earlier, this exception does not apply, and the 10% penalty can still be charged. Second, the money must remain in your current employer's retirement plan. This is critical. The rule of 55 only works with the plan connected to the job you just left. If you move that money out, especially into an IRA, you lose access to this benefit. Third, your employer's plan must allow withdrawals. Not all plans are flexible. Some allow partial withdrawals over time, while others may have restrictions or require specific conditions. That means even if you qualify under IRS rules, your actual access depends on your plan's structure. And one more thing, this rule only applies to certain types of accounts, mainly 401ks and 303b plans. It does not automatically apply to IRAs or other retirement accounts. So before making any decision, you need to check all three: your age timing, where your money is held, and what your specific plan allows. Missing even one of these can completely change the outcome. Now let's move into the part where most people make mistakes, because understanding the rule is one thing, but using it correctly is where things can go wrong. The first major mistake is what people do immediately after leaving their job. Many people think the smart move is to roll their 401k into an IRA right away. It sounds logical, more control, more investment options, but in this case, it can actually work against you. The moment your money moves into an IRA, the rule of 55 no longer applies. That means if you try to withdraw before 59 and a half, the 10% early withdrawal penalty can come back. So if you're planning to use this rule, timing matters. Keeping your funds in the employer plan, at least temporarily, can make a significant difference in how much access you have. Now, building on that, there's another important limitation. This rule only applies to your current employer's plan, not old accounts. So if you've changed jobs multiple times and have different 401ks sitting in different places, those older accounts don't automatically qualify for penalty-free access under this rule. Only the plan from the job you just left is eligible. Because of this, some people, before retiring, choose to consolidate their older 401ks into their current employer's plan, if the plan allows it. That way, when they leave at 55, a larger portion of their retirement savings becomes accessible under the same rule. But this step depends entirely on your employer's plan rules, so it's not automatic. It requires checking in advance. Now, even if you get all of that right, there's still one more layer most people overlook, and that's how your specific plan handles withdrawals. Not all 401k plans are designed the same way. Some plans allow flexible partial withdrawals over time, which can help you manage taxes and cash flow more efficiently. But other plans may have restrictions. In some cases, they may limit how often you can withdraw, or even require larger distributions than you actually need. And in worst-case scenarios, certain plans may not support the kind of gradual access that makes this strategy useful. This is why one of the most important steps before relying on the Rule of 55 is reviewing your plan's summary description or speaking directly with your plan administrator, because the IRS rule gives you permission, but your plan controls the execution. And then comes the financial reality that sits underneath all of this. Just because you can access your money at 55 doesn't automatically mean you should withdraw aggressively or retire without a plan. Every withdrawal is still taxable as income, and large withdrawals can push you into a higher bracket. On top of that, you're potentially extending the lifespan of your retirement by several years, which means your money has to last longer. Market conditions, inflation, and spending habits all start to matter more at this stage. So the Rule of 55 should be seen as a tool for flexibility, not a shortcut or guarantee. Used carefully, it can help you transition out of full-time work, or switch careers, or reduce working hours. It can also give you more control over when and how you start using your retirement savings. Instead of waiting for a fixed age, you have the option to transition gradually. But again, this works best when it's part of a broader plan, where you've considered your expenses, your withdrawal rate, and how your investments are structured over time. And finally, the bigger picture. The real value of this rule isn't just about avoiding a 10% penalty, it's about flexibility and time. Time to step away from work earlier if you're ready. Time to focus on other priorities, whether that's health, family, or personal goals. But that benefit only holds if your financial foundation is solid. So the Rule of 55 should be seen as an option, not a default decision. It gives you the ability to access your savings earlier, but it doesn't replace the need for planning. The most effective approach is combining access with strategy, understanding taxes, managing withdrawals carefully, and making sure your money is aligned with how long you expect it to last. That's what turns early access into a sustainable decision.